We not only want to help you get married, but have a great marriage.
And the start of a great marriage begins with what you sowed in your singleness.
So here are 3 keys to help you prepare for a great marriage.
Here we go. So the first key is to develop the ability for the responsibility of marriage, because it takes skills to steward this relationship. And what makes or breaks our relationship is how we handle conflict and how we manage connection, how we maintain the fire, the love, the friendship between us.
Yeah, because conflict isn't right or wrong. It's not good or bad, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so we need to learn how to do conflict well.
Because conflict is actually a blessing. It can lead to deeper connection or disconnection and dysfunction. So like choose wisely. Learn how to have conflict with your friends and family while you're single, so you can bring that skill into when you're married. We're going to have conflict in a healthy marriage that leads to deeper intimacy. Because if you're not willing to have the deep, vulnerable, tough conversations in conflict, you actually limit your connection. You limit your intimacy within your marriage.
And having those times and those conversations are actually going to lead to even better good times, even better times when you're just hanging out and just playing a game with your best friend or doing an activity or going out. You're going to enjoy your company so much more because you know that person so much deeper. Yeah, and really, you can't have good conflict and you can't have good connection without good communication. And I know everybody talks about communication. Well, why do people talk about communication so much? Because it can be hard. Because it can be hard to take what's in your mind and put it through your mouth, put it in your heart, and share it in a respectful manner.
Yeah. And to that communication, you hit on the sharing part, but the listening, that's the tougher challenge. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk. And that's the greatest blessing you can give your spouse, is learning how to listen well. And with that, we'll go to key number 2.
Key number 2, and I know a lot of you have already been doing this, but it is so important and worth mentioning to come back to again and again for all of us, no matter what season of life we're in, is grounding our identity in the love of God. We got to know who we are. We got to know whose we are. And we got to know that we are loved. And we have to go into a relationship from love, not for love. Hopefully, you enter a relationship in a loving way and that person will love you, but it's not to enter in it in the hopes of only getting that love. It's to give love.
Anytime there's like an over neediness, you put a demand on a person that only God can fulfill. You need to be fully loved before you can give yourself fully to love.
Yeah. And if somebody says that you're too needy or you feel like you're too needy, you've got to know your value and your worth. And maybe you are not getting the attention that you deserve or the affection you deserve. But if you just feel like you're too needy, it's not wrong to be needy because we need God's love.
Yeah.
We need Him. We need to know Him deeply. And there's a need in us for Him. That's why people are needy, because we need God that badly. We need Him so much.
We have to be fully satisfied in Christ before we seek love. And it's this weird tension because you burn with passion to be married. You're like, I want to be married so bad. But you have to be fully content in your community, in Christ, before you seek romantic love.
There's a righteous desire.
Yeah, 100%.
And it doesn't mean that there won't be stages or seasons of loneliness or it's hard.
But this determines whether you pursue the relationship and you can relate from your identity rather than your insecurities.
Yeah.
And that's the point here. Date from love, not for love, because you so know the love of Jesus that you're seeking a relationship to do life with, not find life. Okay, the third key is choose the hard road of healing now. Don't mask your wound. Let God heal your wound.
Yeah, because you want to date from wholeness, not to be made whole. as much as the movies say, he completes me or she completes me. Yes, they are your better half once you get married, but they are not the ones who are going to make you who God is.
Yeah, and this tags back to the second point of let God love you, but so much to the point where you open your heart to him, open those wounds to him, and let him minister to you.
Yeah, and this is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't stop once you get married, but you can do a lot of work now if you're single and save a lot of trouble.
Because I would venture to say all marriage problems stem from sin are your wounds. And if you don't heal those in your singleness, they will seep into your marriage. For me, when I was in high school, I was addicted to pornography, and I had to let God rid me of those sins, otherwise they would destroy my marriage.
And something that I have struggled with over the years, coming from a divorced home, and that lack of that father figure in my life was really hard. And as soon as God got a hold of my life, I had to cling to him. I had to hold on to him as my father, as my daddy.
Because if she didn't heal that fatherless wound, she would have insecurity and fear of rejection that would just be amplified through the pressure cooker of marriage.
Yeah.
And again, that would go back to key number 1 of conflict and connection. Insecurity and fear of rejection blows those two out of proportion. And so her going through the healing journey helped our marriage down the road. Those are 3 keys to prepare for marriage, because we not only want to help you get married, we want to help you have a great marriage.
It is worth it. Do the hard work. It's worth it.
Do the hard work.